Welcome to the number one tactic that you can use to enjoy spending time with your family over the festive season. This is video number 6 of our How to Enjoy Christmas Sober series. So what this video is about? Well, it's about acceptance. It's about meeting your family where they are. And I get it that we don't always like the reaction that we get from our family. We don't always like the way they behave. But if we can accept that, meet them where we are, then we will actually enjoy time with them over Christmas. So let's think about an example. I was at a family do a little while ago, a few Christmases ago, and I was talking to a member of my family who was doing the drinks. And they had a big array of alcoholic drinks. And I said, have you got any soft drinks? And they went, oh, can you always go on about sobriety? All you ever talk about is not drinking. You're so anti-alcohol. And it's like, hey, no, I don't go on about it a lot. All I want is a glass of water. I mean, is it that much to ask? And actually, that particular member of my family, we never talk about me. We never talk about the stuff I do. We always talk about them. We always talk about their job and their family and their plans, and they're one of the most boring people I have ever met. Anyway, so the shot of that is, well, you've got to ask yourself, when you put into situations like that, how does that make you feel? You know, how does your family's reaction when it's like that, how does that make you feel? Now, you've also got to sort of take a step back and ask yourself, why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that way when your family behaves in that way? Why do you feel like that? Which is really another way of asking yourself, do you have choice? Could you feel different? They would behave in the same way, but could you feel differently? So let's think about that for a second. And, you know, to kind of really put that into sharp relief, I'd like to introduce you to a guy called Viktor Frankl. You may well have heard of Viktor Frankl. He wrote a little book called Man's Search for Meaning. Very influential book. Excellent book. Great Christmas present, by the way. Man's Search for Meaning. Get it on Amazon now. Now, Viktor Frankl was born in 1905 in Vienna to a Jewish family. And he studied hard at school. He went to medical school. He became a doctor. He got very interested in psychiatry. In fact, he actually worked on a groundbreaking suicide prevention scheme for students. So he's a very, very successful, very innovative doctor, very much ahead of his time. But unfortunately, in 1938, Austria was annexed by Nazi Germany. And as a Jew, he found himself really on the wrong side. His opportunities to work became restricted to the point where he was unable to work at all. And unfortunately, in 1942, he found himself shipped off to a concentration camp. Now, he had a particularly difficult time of it. His father died of starvation. His mother and his brothers both perished in the gas chambers. And his wife eventually died of typhus. So he lost his entire family in the Holocaust. Now, I think it would be very understandable for Viktor Frankl to be quite angry about that, to have a particular reaction to those set circumstances. But the conclusion that he came to in, the darkest moments of the 20th century, the conclusion that he came to was the only freedom that any of us really has is choosing how we react to situations. Choosing how we react to situations. Now, I think that is a very, very powerful concept. It's not always easy to put into practice, but it is a very, very powerful concept. Because we might not like where our family is. We might wish that they were different. Actually, we have a choice about how we react to the way they behave. And if you choose to accept that they are where they are, still acknowledging that you would like it to be different, but accepting that they are where they are, then that puts you into a position of strength. You can then choose to embrace the power of choice, and you can choose to react in a different way. So practically, how can you get around to doing that? Well, I think it's really useful to sit down and make a list of all of the good points about your family and all of the bad points. Now, there aren't only going to be bad points. They will have helped you on your sobriety journey in some way. So make sure you are really super clear on those good points, the things that they've actually done to help you through your sobriety journey, the things that they have done to support you. And yes, I mean, I think there is some advantage in listening listing those bad points, getting it off your chest, sort of thing. But I want you to actually focus on those good points. Accept the bad points for what they are. Realize that while you would love to change them, you're not necessarily in a position to change them, and just really focus on those good points. I think that can really help you to accept where your family is and choose a different reaction to them. Honestly, if you want to dwell on the bad points about your family, I think that can lead you to one very powerful conclusion. You can start to feel a little bit sorry for them. And honestly, if you can feel sorry for the people that have to drink too much at Christmas, then you are well on your way to having yourself a happy, sober Christmas. So I will see you for the next and final video, which is a bit of a wrap up, tie together some of the concepts that we've already talked about, and I will see you then.